Positive vibes, Mets fans. That's what it's about. The New York Mets slamming the hell out of the Atlanta Braves, and that is great to see. The New York Mets taking the first two games of this three-game series as we're monitoring the Reds. Hopefully they lose. I'm not sure if that game's over yet, but we're trying to keep up in the standings. And yes, not only did the offense show out, but today's MVP, in my opinion, is Clay Holmes. 6 1/3, only 2 runs, got the outs when needed. It was huge to have him step up. Jeff McNeil with 2 home runs, Mark Vientos 2 home runs. Everybody's got hits. And if you actually look, the top 6, every single player in the top 6, Lindor, Soto, Alonso, Vientos, Marte, McNeil, all were on base at least 2 times. And when you're going up and down the order, Mark Vientos, 3 for 5. McNeil, 2 for 5 with the 2 dingers. And when you're looking at the averages now, they're slowly starting to creep up. And yes, would I want Juan Soto to be better than what he has been? Of course, 0 for 3 today, but he does have the 2 walks. His OPS is at 883, and you're going up and down. Mark Vientos recently had an OPS in the low 600s, and all of a sudden you look, it's at 688, creeping close to league average. And Jeff McNeil very quietly having a great year for the New York Mets, as his on OPS is 813. Starling Marte hitting in the high 280s, his OPS 815. Marte needs to be in the lineup every single day going forward. It was just an all-around good win. Now, I do have a little bit of a gripe to pick. At the end of the game, does Edwin Diaz really need to throw 20-something pitches? Probably making him unavailable for tomorrow. Was that technically necessary? In my opinion, probably no. But I'll take it. I will take it. Holmes today lowered his ERA to a 3.60, and we've been talking about it on this channel literally for 2 months now. How pivotal is it that this starting pitching gets going? And talking about starting pitching, if anybody has been monitoring what's been going on at X's, I'm going to pull it up. We're all expecting, Brandon Sproat to be the guy who's going to be brought up. And it turns out that might not be happening. As we look at what, I want to pull it up so I have the exact quote. Oh, shout out to Jonah Tung tonight. Another dominant performance at AAA. 6 innings, 5 hits, 8 Ks, 0 runs. And according to Mike Puma, here we have it. Quote from Mike Puma: "The wind has shifted in the Mets organization in recent days regarding Jonah Tung. His name is entering the conversation for this season. He is scheduled to pitch tonight for Syracuse." And I'm telling you guys right now, I predict Jonah Tung will be making his next start at the major league level, as the Mets don't have a 6th starter. And we got that news pregame. Frankie Montas is done for the season. And if he goes and gets Tommy John surgery, he's going to opt in next year at that $17.5 million, and we won't see him all year long. And now insurance will cover a big portion of that, as Steve Cohen and company will get a lot of that money back. But Frankie Montas is done for the season. So it's going to be imperative one of these guys come up and shows out. And it goes to show you something I brought up in Dan's space during the game. Think about the pitchers that the Mets have brought up or contemplating bringing up over the last couple of years since David Stearns has taken over. Last year, the hot name was Christian Scott, 24-year-old right-hander. What's going on, my co-host Dan?
Let's go.
Christian Scott last year. They brought him up at 24. Sproat's going to be 25. McLean's 24. Jonah Tung just turned 22. Think about what they must feel about him. But before we get further into that, I want to get to my co-host Dan. But guys, do us a favor if you're here. Leave us a like. Consider becoming a member to get your questions and comments read live on stream. Dan, what a win tonight, bro.
What a win. And make it 2 in a row, making it a win against the Atlanta Braves in Atlanta. Again, I tweeted out, you don't see that very often. You can't be able to say that very often as a Mets fan. So soak it in. And people that love to live in the misery will love to hear your comments tonight. No doubt about it. But I don't think there's a place for it tonight. The Mets are playing really good baseball, and I think we have to recognize when this is happening in real time. You have guys like Marte Hell of a throw from left field. Unbelievable. I don't think Brandon Nimmo makes that play. Tyrone Taylor probably does. But again, Starling Marte, of all people, still doing it at his age, still swiping bags. The current league leader in stolen bases for his career. So he's doing unbelievable things. Jeff McNeil, his 900th career hit on that first home run he hit tonight. Luckily, it stayed fair, and it did. But, geez, Jeff McNeil, I mean, this is unbelievable, the version of him that we're seeing as well. So it's a lot of the role players that we kind of didn't expect to really get this train moving along, right? We expected Soto and Pete, and he had the home run today, which was nice to see. But, you know, it's really Vientos finally picking up the pace for him, and Beatty still doing his thing. So I love what I'm seeing, Ray. You talked about Jonah Tong as I entered. I mean, I'd love to talk about him too. He's unbelievable. I mean, this guy is the real deal. And we heard Mike Puma's report today. You sent out a great graphic of it. There's a chance we see him soon, and maybe even before Brandon Sproat. But I'm not going to jump to that conclusion yet.
What are your thoughts on that?
Yeah.
Are you in alignment with me? They just think Tong is that special?
Clearly they do. I still think it would be borderline malpractice. I want to see Brandon Sproat, the older pitcher. I understand his road has been rockier to get to the big leagues, but this is a guy that the Mets drafted twice. They believe in. He showed promise. He's really come back down to earth in terms of where he was at an inflated 7 ERA in June. I mean, we were talking about Sproat and saying, is this guy really going to cut it at the big league level? But his stuff plays up. I'd love to see Sproat before Tong. You just can't call him up after 2 starts in AAA. I feel like that's just rushing him to the big leagues. But listen, maybe that's the jolt the Mets need to push him over the top. We saw what McLean brought to the table. So it's either Sproat or Tong, but one of them almost confirmed will be up in Queens very soon.
So interesting graphic that just came out in regard to Clay Holmes, who, let's be honest, has had a little bit of a rough patch. Check this out. On 8-12 versus Atlanta versus tonight, his sinker on 8-12, he threw it 68% of the time tonight, just 39%. His sweeper went from 6 to 16%. So maybe that pitch mix, guys are sitting on his sinker, going the other way with it. Maybe the Mets finally made that adjustment that we've been looking for. And Dan, we've gotten good pitching performances the last couple of nights where we're not forced to go to this bullpen in the 4th inning, which it seemed like for almost a month straight. That was the case every single day as the Mets bring back Brazaban today, taking over for Frankie Montas. But it's a good thing to see. I would like to see it continue into a second start. And another point that I need to make before we get to your guys' questions and comments, you got to get the sweep tomorrow. You can't say we won 2. We spoke about it yesterday, Dan. Unacceptable. You got to get the win tomorrow. The Braves are a crappy team, and you saw as of today, they're laying over the second you're beating them down. And as long as you're not throwing Ryan Helsley with a 7-run lead, typically it's going to work out. And it's something that the New York Mets need to take care of because these series coming up are going to be so pivotal in our run to October.
Yeah. And the pitching finally coming around for the Mets. I mean, you have to get this sweep, definitely. The Phillies won again tonight. Who really cares at this point? Just make the damn playoffs. I know this team is good enough to go deep. I know what they can bring to the table. We've seen it at moments this year. We saw it last night, for crying out loud. 21 hits, 12 runs. They come back today and get a win of their own. Let's keep this moving. Positive vibes only tonight, for sure.
Yep, guys, we're going to make it a quick post game tonight. I got baby duties. Buzz chimes in. What's going on, Buzz? One of our members. What's good, Ray? Let's go, Mets. Absolutely fantastic game tonight. Holmes getting into the 7th. Great defense and a 6-home run barrage. Vientos is on his way back. Great points. And Dan, how about that dive by Tyrone Taylor, which probably stopped the momentum from the Braves, which it felt at that point. Up here they come.
Sure. Hell of a play. I mean, the defense has been for real. Pete with a great play tonight. Beatty's holding his position down. Love what I'm seeing. And Lindor, too. Caught a ball with his eyes closed. I put up the little Michael Jordan free throw, shooting it with his eye. That's some pretty GOAT level stuff. So good stuff from Lindor. Good defense all around.
Totally agree. Now we got this from Scott. Scott, great game by everyone today. Now we have to finish the sweep. Could not agree more because you lose tomorrow, Dan. It's going to leave a sour taste in your mouth. We could try to spin it any way we want to. We all know the facts. They got to finish the sweep. The Braves are a bad team.
They're bad. And they had the second best odds coming into the season this year to make the playoffs. Think about that in all of baseball. And now they're on the outside looking in. So Atlanta, you can suck it tonight. Excuse my English, but hey, it's Saturday. Let's take it back. And Atlanta, yeah, they're not going anywhere this year.
And what are the odds Atlanta's going to be bad next year when they get all their guys healthy? You got to take advantage where we can. And I want to go around the league really quick. We'll just mention one game. Oh, how about little bro Yankees getting their doors blown off for the sweep against the Red Sox? Welcome to the big leagues. And shocker, Aaron Judge, that series, I think he had one double for the entire series. So shout out to him and his clutchness. We all know how clutch he is. I just had to get that in there. Andre Diaz has not pitched in a week. Had to get him work. I agree. But listen, once he's at 15 pitches for me, I would yank him. I'm not letting him go 25, 30 pitches in a meaningless game. As the bottom of the sixth, the Diamondbacks hit another home run, 8-1 lead over the Reds, which is great for the Mets. Right now, they're 2 games behind us and might be 2.5 if they lose tonight. The Mets are gaining steam, and the Mets are currently, what are they, 69? They're 4 games behind the Padres. So that last wild card seed is going to mean everything.
Yeah, and Anthony brought up that point about Diaz, too, in our space, and I honestly agree. Like, I would have pitched him in the 8th inning with 1 or 2 outs and just got him his 10 or 15 pitches, got him out of there. There's a risk now that you've thrown 30 pitches of Evan Diaz. You're not going to have him tomorrow. I mean, that's
right.
So that kind of stinks. And then,
if you do pitch him tomorrow, you might not have him for a couple games.
Right. So, it's just those decisions by Mendy and Hefner that just drive you crazy. But a win's a win.
Kuma chimes in on that point. Thank you. I was yelling with the Diaz is in the. Why is Diaz in the game? I get he hasn't pitched since last Saturday, but we have 11 games left in a row, and Diaz is throwing 29 pitches. I agree, man. I know he needs to work, but eventually you take him out and you say, see you tomorrow, Diaz.
Sure.
Henry says, need to keep Vientos in the lineup. Hopefully Mendoza will realize consistency is important, and better than Vientos, keep Brett Beatty in the lineup. That's like Brett Beatty again today, Dan. This guy is an on-base machine. The month of August, his on-base percentage is 500 or right there, just below. It's like 485. It's something crazy. You got to keep this lineup going. Same lineup. And I don't care if Vientos is DHing. Let him get hot. That's where he belongs, in my opinion.
Sure.
Mike says Sproat is pitching for Syracuse tomorrow, and that is true. And also the Mets, there's been no inclination that they're going to be removing him, which makes me believe Tung is the guy that's going to get called up over Sproat.
Yeah, most likely. But you never know. I'm still holding out hope for Sproat. I don't think we see Tung this year. I don't. I'd be very shocked if we do.
Well, we'll see. We'll get to a couple more comments before we sign off today, guys. Please like, subscribe. If it's your first time here. Scott chimes in.
Oh,
what's up, Dan?
No, you go. I'll go after you.
Montas is done for the season conveniently. Here comes Sproat. We'll see.
Yeah.
We will see.
Metcast trivia question of the night. It's a layup for most of you guys at home. Who was named the MVP of the 1969 World Series for the Mets? Was it Tom Seaver, Jerry Koosman, Don Clendenin, or Cleon Jones?
Who gets that first? Phil chimes in over on Facebook. What do you think they are going to bring up to fill in starting pitching spot? The Mets are back. Dan thinks it's Brandon Sproat, but our guy Mike Puma, friend of the show, Mike's always on. Mike's on. He's ready to go. Not on WFAN, but his tweets are always on. Little jingle there, huh?
Dan
McClain sparked the turnaround this season. We need to call up Sproat and Tung, Dan says. I totally agree, Dan. You see the team funneling around him. It's just different atmosphere, man.
Yeah. And Dan, you're right, 100%. Don Clendenin, MVP, 1969. Hell of a player.
We have final comment of the day coming from a different Dan. The Noah McClain's sorry about that. Same one. Here we go. Frankie says, Ray, I think Jonah Tung will get the call up. Maybe we'll put a poll out on X to see exactly where we are with this, Dan, because I'll put a poll out. I'll tag you in it. We'll see what's up with that. But really quickly, let's get a quick rundown of the lineup before we sign off today. Lindor, 1 for 4 with a run. Soto, 0 for 3, 2 runs, 2 walks. Alonso, 1 for 4, 2-run homer, is 29th of the year with a walk. Mark Vientos, the big 3 for 5, 2 home runs. 1K McNeil, 2 for 5, 2 home runs, number 12 on the season. 4 RBIs. Marte, 3 for 3, solo shot, number 8 and a walk. Mullins 0 for 1. Beatty 0 for 4, but he did get the big walk with 2 Ks. Tyron Taylor 1 for 5. And Senger 0 for 4. The Mets are going to have to address something with this catching position in Tyron Taylor, because Tyron Taylor, Dan, we want to talk about Jonah Tong and all these guys coming up. Bring up Carson Bench or Jet Williams. Tyron Taylor's nice defensively, but he is an automatic out. Yes, he's had a few hits over these last couple games, but let's not be fools or naive. We all know Tyron Taylor is not a major league hitter.
Yeah, I'm in the minority on this. I don't think we see any of these. Bench, Williams, I would be shocked. Clifford, we're not seeing them in 2020.
I agree with Clifford, yeah.
I could be wrong, but it's really between Sproat and Tong. And then don't count out Dylan Ross.
Good point. Good point. Someone John Harper talked about in our last interview. But that's all we got for you guys tonight. Thanks so much for joining. This is Metcast postgame. 2 wins in a row. Smash that like button. Be sure to go follow us both over on X at MetcastPod, at Dan Bartels was it _2?
2, just 2, yep.
Dan Bartels 2. There we go, guys. As always, let's go
Let's
Mets.
Go Mets, guys.
Let's get the sweep. Peace.
Woo!